Gatley, former Cape Atlantic League president. Try to get some clarity on some of these NJSIAA proposals. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dave. Cole, I'm not sure I'll give you any clarity, but I'll try to help. That's for sure.
Come on, man. You know what's going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm fortunately I'm on a lot of the committees at the NJSIAA in reference to public, non-public, and football and executive committee, and I'm happy that I have an opportunity to do that. So yeah, I'm in the mix. There's no doubt about it.
You got a fresh haircut straight from the barber shop. You should be all set to go.
Yeah, I got to give my man Phil in Summers Point a heads up there. Yes, he takes good care of me for many years, man.
There you go. So kind of break it down for us, I guess, first in football. It seems like they're having a real hard time trying to figure out what to do with these North Jersey powerhouse teams and how to get them into playoff brackets that are fair for everyone. It kind of, I guess it stinks for a team like St. Augustine. You go undefeated in South Jersey, you got to go on the road as a 7th seed and play some kind of powerhouse North Jersey team. I don't know if St. Augustine will ever get to that level where they can compete for a state title in those kind of brackets.
Well, the thing is, I mean, just to take it from the get-go, the teams up in North Jersey have earned a tremendous reputation. They've got great football programs. Where I think the breakdown really started to happen, and I'm not ashamed. I'm actually proud to say this. On the football committee, there's 10 members, of which I'm one. And it's this double PowerPoints for playing certain schools in certain brackets in North Jersey, now Publix, and the 1.5 multiplier. I was the only guy that voted no against it. And I didn't vote no because, I didn't think it was, something that in some way we have to look at. But to actually give schools more points than other schools, you could just see at the end of the day that something was not going to be right. And if you look at how the PowerPoints broke down, and St. Augustine's a good example, regardless of where their seat is, I mean, you would open up the paper and go online and look at these PowerPoints, and you're seeing 30 and 40-point difference. Now, for the lay person that looks at that, you say to yourself, well, truth is that, yeah, we gave them 2 times that, but the perception is, how the heck do these teams get this many points and also already be the best teams in the state? So, that aspect of the non-public football situation last year, I mean, quite honestly, and it's been said many times at the NJSIAA over the last couple months, it was a mistake. It was a big mistake. And, I'm hoping that, we can turn around and do some things. And I think we are going to be able to rectify that situation. But going into this vote on last Monday, the real concern is that do we separate, North Jersey and South Jersey because of the way the football was handled in North Jersey, specifically the non-publics. We had a meeting prior to the vote on Monday up at the NJSIAA last week, and I felt pretty confident that sitting down with some of the North Jersey ADs, of which many I'm on committees with, and I've gotten to know these guys not only, professionally but personally, that we can do something, to make this better. Quite honestly, St. Augustine, St. Joe, and Holy Spirit didn't want to split North and South. The votes show that. I mean, all the votes were online. They were public. So, when I look at our league and the teams that I've been involved with for 16 years, I say, I went to St. Augustine, I went to Mike Rizzo, I talked with Steve at Holy Spirit and Anne Marie, and I said, well, what do you guys want to do? Because ultimately it impacts them. It doesn't impact a public school as much.
Right.
And they said, no, we don't want a hollow victory. But at the same time, look, St. Augustine and Mike would tell you to a man, whether they get a home game or not a home game is not an issue. If they go up and they play somebody, they're undefeated and they're the 7th seed, he knows they got to get better to contend with those guys, and that's their goal. So, sometimes we don't have to change the entire system. We sometimes can just ask people, like, kind of where you're at. And I think sometimes, Dave, we missed a boat on that. We try to micromanage particular situations. And this whole thing came out of Paramus Catholic not making the playoffs a couple of years ago. And I understand. They're
right.
A great team. But at the same time, is it the entire state's responsibility to make sure that Paramus Catholic gets into the playoffs? I always want the best teams in there, no doubt. But my point is that, you're not going to be able to solve every program. And God knows I know that from being in a Cal and trying to do our football. for how many years. So I think the vote going down, although taken, I think more personally by some of the guys that I know very well too, the legislation going down, I think is a more important point for progress, because that's just going to be the beginning, in my mind, of separating North and South, not only in football, but in a lot of things.
We're talking with Mike Gatley, Athletic Director at Mainland Regional. Mike, is there a solution out there, and how long would it take to kind of figure out how to level the playing field for, if not all the teams, most of the teams?
Right, and there is, Dave. I mean, I think the vote going down now is going to open dialogue even more. It has to, because nothing can come back to a vote for at least 2 more years per the NJSIAA Constitution. So, this vote going down is going to have to open dialogue. And me personally, I've already been in touch with a couple of the super conference guys up in the north, and we are going to sit down, and we're going to be able to look. We're intelligent guys, we're athletic guys, we've been in the business a long time. I mean, legislation sometimes is necessary. In this situation, I got to be quite honest with you. In my experience, I think we can do this. I think we can do this, amongst professionals, and not make this, a North versus South and create more animosity, that's already there.
Mike, what about the other proposal for the basketball? I know Holy Spirit had kind of raised some concerns over the last couple of years about the groups, the sectionals, and how they're laid out. Coach Gillespie does have a really good point in that sometimes you're traveling 100 miles for a playoff game on a weeknight when these kids have school the next day. They're not getting back till midnight, 1 a.m. Can anything be done to rectify that?
Well, and here's the thing. I was very disappointed that vote didn't pass. And I think part of the problem is with that is the fact that, there are some people that are going to vote no on a non-public issue, no matter what it is. But if you looked at really what the situation was with that proposal, there's different classifications, Dave. I won't go into the how convoluted it gets, but I'll keep it as simple as this, is that, basketball non-public is set up as a general classification as opposed to a sport-specific. And what I'm saying there is that that's why they would travel to certain places. For years, the non-publics have had difficulties, what school is closing, what school is combining. So in order to make the playing field fair, they just had it as a general basketball classification, which again would send a Holy Spirit to Bernard's or a Wildwood Catholic to so-and-so. Well, now, with this proposal, they gave you the breakdown and said, we can break this thing down and keep this in like a sectional type of thing like you do in other sports. And it made a lot of sense. And again, if you look at the vote and how close that was, the disappointing thing for me is that, we have over 400 schools in the state of New Jersey, and we only had 310 ADs that voted that day. I mean, you get the majority of those other people there, maybe that vote passed. It's 13 votes. I mean, 13 votes to me says that there's a problem and that, hey, this is a pretty good solution. So, personally, I was disappointed in that. I obviously voted for it. It had nothing to do with public, and I could care about less about that. To me, it's about kids. And if you look at it from what's right and from a kid standpoint, that proposal should have went through. But again, because there's so much of the public, non-public, whether you like it or not, it's in the landscape of athletics in the state of New Jersey. I wonder how many people probably didn't even look at that and said, okay, Holy Spirit or whoever, Bishop Barr, whoever would have put it up, I'm not voting for that.
Right.
And that's discouraging, to me, Dave, on many levels, man, for sure.
Good stuff, Mike. We're up against the break. Appreciate you taking a few minutes trying to sort some of that stuff out for us. I'm sure it's going to be an ongoing process to try to get these things figured out.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. I appreciate the opportunity. I just want to say real quick, if I can, our girl Alyssa Aldridge is running in San Diego in a half an hour, but we're all going to Mainland, a bunch of us at 12:15 to watch her run in that Foot Locker, final. And very, very pleased for her, a chance for her to become an All-American, which would be really, really great for Mainland. So I just wanted to toss that out for the cross-country people out there.
All right.
Because she's a great kid. Thanks a lot,
awesome.
Guys. Have a great holiday. Oh, you too. Take care.
Thanks, Mike. Aldridge's Army is gathering at Mainland.